What up, what up? We are back with another Bridgeton live video again. Let me just type in here what we are discussing today. Episode 6 and 7. Hey beautiful people joining in. I want to pin the comment. Yes. So welcome to another live video where I'll be hosting Waithera. I'm just waiting for Waithera to join in. And we're talking about Bridgeton episode 6 and 7. Yesterday I was hosting the Dapper Brother and we're doing episodes 5 and 6. So today I'm going to be hosting Waithera and we're going to be doing episode 6 and 7. And it's going to be super exciting. I'm actually just waiting on her to join in and request to be in the live, so we can do this. I'm excited. We have like some interesting things we want to talk about. If you haven't watched episode 6 and 7, apologies, because we will definitely have a few spoilers for you. So yeah, stay tuned. I want to hear what your thoughts are on Bridgeton generally, and on Bridgeton episode 6 and 7 specifically, as we discuss like some hot things that were happening in episode 6 and 7. Hi Kasungu, hi Shixteen, how are you guys? Hi Victor, I'm excited too. I've actually seen Waithera is on the... Waithera, welcome to the live. Let's dive in. Today we are having some... Oh, hey beautiful.
Hi.
What's up?
I'm good. You?
I'm good. I'm doing amazing. I'm so happy to be doing this with you today.
Me too. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know it was a bit last minute, but I've met Waithera online, and I really love her content. So I'm actually so feeling so honored to be doing this with you.
Oh my God. I love your content too. You're doing amazing. I love when we champion each other, because we all know that. Yeah.
For sure. So do we do like a quick round of introduction for those guys who don't know, who probably don't know us, and then we dive into the conversation?
Yes, we can.
Sawa. Do you wanna go first?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Waithera. I'm a plus-size model, and I also create content around home improvement, fashion, plus-size fashion mostly, and lifestyle content. So that's what I do. Yeah.
I love that. And I am Miss Gachie. For those who don't know, I am also a lifestyle content creator. Anything from fashion, food, travel, hair, you name it.
Look.
Yeah. So yes, that is us. And today we are going to be talking about Bridgeton, which is one of our favorite current watches. It's on Netflix. Those who haven't watched it, I'm so sorry, but after this you will have to.
Yes,
you will have to watch
number one
it.
trending.
Yeah, it's number one trending actually on Netflix. So if you haven't watched it, I don't know what you're waiting for. And make sure you start from season 1, because you won't get
understand
if you won't understand what it is about if you don't start from season 1. And season 1, I feel like season 1 was a bit more lit than this. What's your opinion on that?
Is it because of Simon?
Well, that was a huge factor.
Clearly.
The Duke of, what was his name? Duke of what? Yeah, that was a huge factor, honestly.
Honestly, for me, I think I've gotten more information still on season 2. I wouldn't say I prefer either seasons. I think they were just equally, entertaining for me.
Yeah. I'd say season 1, because I feel like the romance in season 1 was crazy. It was crazy like from the beginning. But in season 2, we get to see a lot of like romance and passion more towards the end. Anyway,
But I also think
Yeah.
because of the theme of this season, love never plays by the rules, they had to stick to that. So
Yeah.
that's why it was coming to the end rather than throughout.
Yeah. What does so you just mentioned actually something so important. The theme for this season is love doesn't play by the rules. When you say love doesn't play by the rules, what do you mean exactly? What does it mean? Is it, you know, when we say that, guys are like, oh, now it's cheating. Oh, it's
no, not cheating.
What rules are they? Yeah.
For my understanding is that like for Kate and for Anthony, like they had to honor first their families, let's say families. They didn't put their own desires first. Like they knew they were attracted to each other, but they couldn't do it because of their family name. You know, they wanted the Bridgetons to be known, you know, and the family. That's what I would understand by that.
Yeah. But also I feel like they were playing by the rules so much, but at the end of the season, like eventually they went against all these rules that they were playing. Anyway, that's a discussion for you for tomorrow. Let me not get ahead of myself. Yeah. So just to dive into episode 6 and 7. Episode 6 was where the wedding was to happen, and then it didn't happen. And episode 7 was the aftermath of the wedding not happening. So speaking about weddings and marriage, just looking at the case of Anthony and Edwina, would you marry someone who you are totally not in love with? Like, would you marry someone off of you know, any other reason, maybe because your family has decided or any other thing? Let's discuss that. Let's talk about that. And also, like, guys, feel free to comment on the comment section below. Tell us whether you'd marry someone you don't love.
Honestly, for me, it's a big no. I'm so stubborn, and if I want someone, that's someone who I want, and that's who I'll fight for. I'm sorry about other people's opinions. I'm sorry about my family, but I think I'll keep myself first, because if I get myself into this marriage, what if it doesn't work out the way I want it to? What are we talking about? I even don't know you. I don't even have any feelings about you, as in, to me, it beats the logic about love. Love needs to be so passionate in all ways. My understanding, you know, how we cooperate in other things, our chores, you know, like what we did with my husband. Like, it's so in sync. Kama ningepatia mtu mwingine, ingekuwa tu like, no, I am not enjoying this person, and I won't be myself. I won't be honest. Yeah. Okay. What's your opinion?
But, like, even for money or class,
or
you marry someone because they look so good, and this other one that you really love doesn't look good at all, according to you.
But you see, let me tell you, if you burn for someone, I think everything else solidifies itself. You're gonna figure it out. For me, that's I think I'm biased to that, because I wouldn't want an arranged marriage, because me, I know.
But I've seen, like, in today's society, even like in that Sauti Soul song that says heri ulie kwenye Range Rover ama ucheke kwenye boda boda. Like, in today's society, I've seen women get married to men who have money, like, regardless of their age or their looks or whether they love them. But just because someone has said something interesting here. Wait, that one is a hot one. But just because that they are assured of some sense of stability, or that they'll be okay, they'll just be okay for the rest of their lives with money and everything. So I've seen that in today's society, where guys would get married, or even get married just, let me even bring something like really hot. Would you get married to someone just because you got pregnant by them? You don't love them, but you have their baby coming soon, you know?
No, I wouldn't want a baby to be the factor why we are together. It needs to be more than that. I mean, we can always co-parent. We can see successful co-parenting out here. I don't think that will solidify why I should marry you.
Yeah. But I've seen it, I mean, guys in the comments can tell us. I've seen it happen where guys are like, I want my kid to grow up in a, with both parents.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Like the person, who matters now is the child, and I want the child to have both parents. So I'll just get married to this person, regardless of, you know, that factor. For me, on my end, I wouldn't get married to someone who I don't love.
Yeah.
Even if it's because of money or a baby. If the baby situation is hard to, unless you're in that situation, it's so difficult to say you wouldn't do it. But but when it comes to like other factors like money or someone has forced me to do it, I don't think I'd do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me,
Okay.
I've experienced like maybe relatives who have been in marriages they don't want to because of kids. And for me, their reasoning is always like, it's for the kid to grow up with a dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But honestly, they don't seem happy. Why am I
They
there
don't
if
seem
I'm not
happy.
happy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because your happiness also portrays or reflects to your kid. How will you treat your kid? If you're not happy, you won't even be happy or treat them better or give them the life that they want.
Okay.
I know I'm not a mom, but
yeah,
I've seen my cousins do that. And
yeah,
my question is always like, what about you?
what about you?
Where are you keeping yourself in all this?
Yeah. And even at the end of it all, I've seen like people co-parent so well, like so well. Yani, you can even tell that the child is not missing. Okay, maybe they are missing something, but they co-parent so well. And then say, sorry, I need to charge, put my phone on the charger. But if you find that like kids are passerbys, if that makes sense, in the sense that when you make a decision now, a permanent decision based off your child, later on when they're grown up and they leave your home, it's just going to be you by yourself, you know. Yet you made the decision to commit to someone forever, and the children are going to, you know, they're passerbys, they're going to be in your lives, yes, forever, but then they'll be there and later on they'll move on with their lives.
They won't be there. Like for me, when I was moving out of my parents' house, my mom was like, "Ay, unaniacha tu hapa." But you see, the thing is, I have grown, so I need to move out. So you can imagine if she settled for my dad just because of Waithera, it wouldn't make sense for her now. She'd have wasted her whole life.
Yeah, so a lot of guys actually are commenting and saying that they would not marry someone they don't love. And also, like there's some who are saying like growing up with both parents, they would actually marry someone just because, you know, they have a baby with them. And, you know, I feel like everyone with their own preference. Sometimes love grows and everything. But yeah, and others, someone has mentioned, but society has blinded us, like with traditional factors. So you find that people, you get a baby, your parents tell you have to marry that person. So there's things like traditions and everything, and you can even see in Bridgeton. Exactly. In fact, one of the things we also wanted to discuss that we can tie in with this is how, like, you make sacrifices based off like expectations from society, from your parents, from traditions, just to make them happy and not you happy. I think we can dive into that conversation.
Like for example, Kate Sharma, she was doing it for her sister and for her mom so that they can get that what was it, dowry and compensation. But also for Anthony, he was doing it for the family name Bridgeton. It needs to live on. He was the first female child. So he needed to marry before the brothers. So they sacrificed their love or whatever they wanted for the family.
Okay. And also, someone has asked an interesting question. Pause over there. We come back to that. Let me ask a question. It's Waithera and it's Gachie. Why would one go to bed in the first place and you don't love the person? Well, that's a very interesting question in this day and age, because there are one-night stands. I'm not advocating for anything, but I feel like I don't feel like people have Nah, okay, but this is my guy. Please, my own perspective.
Yeah.
The church has its own. Everyone have their own. I
Has,
don't feel
and
like
it's entitled, yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like you necessarily sleep with someone you love. Sometimes
Not
people do it
really.
for leisure or
Yeah,
like
for
to have
fun.
fun, for
Yeah.
fun, and it's
Also,
not a
some people
problem.
do
It's
that for
okay.
stress relieving. I don't know how that works, but yeah.
For stress relieving, actually, for stress relieving, for cramps.
Hey, well. Anyway,
I'm telling you, people will come up with all sorts of reasons to just have sex with
yes,
anyone.
yes, yes.
But
And we respect your decisions. We are not bashing you. We are just saying.
yeah. Okay, anyway, but yeah, I think it happens where you sleep with someone and then they end up getting pregnant without planning. It happens quite a bit, quite a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it's a conversation we should ignore and just say people only sleep with people that they love.
No, it can just happen. You can just have, feelings about someone that particular time, but you're not even interested with that person.
Yeah. Okay. And then back to now our conversation about sacrifices we make, and you've just talked about Kate, and even Jerry here said nowadays kume change, parents wakileta shida, you just move with your vibe. And honestly, I can attest to that bit about parents. Like, to be honest, like me, I can say a rebel, but not a rebel. I respect and love my parents so much, but it's gotten to a point where at my big age, some things are my decisions to make. I feel like by the time I got to 18 and possibly even let's say even 21, I finished my campus and everything. I feel like now moving forward, I'm at a place where the decisions I make should be decisions that make me happy. I'm able to face the consequences by myself. I'm able to, so I shouldn't live my life, basically thinking, oh my God, what are they going to think? What are they going to say? Are they going to, especially if you make your own money, if you are able to take the risks of the decisions you make, I feel do what makes you happy. I did that when I moved in with my fiance, and my mom was furious. She was so mad. She was like,
that you need to get married first so that you can stay with him.
Yeah, nataka kukutoa kwa nyumba. And funny thing, she never did that till date. But anyway, it's always them sometimes living. And this is, guys, my perspective, not anybody else's, mine.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're trying to leave they're trying to relieve the things that they didn't do through you, or there's some things that they really wish. Yeah. And they don't really think about what about them? What do they really want? Eventually, when we had it took like a couple of months of discussion and got to a point where they're like, okay, what would make you happy? And we had that discussion, and they're like, okay, so us, what we want is for his parents to come and see us. And I was like, I'll honor that. I will honor that. And so anyway, so yeah, sometimes do what makes you happy.
Yeah, I also remember on my end, when I quit my job and I was like, I really want to try out content creation. I mean, I can see people out here surviving with it. Yeah. And my mom was so supportive, but my dad on the other end, he was like, I think you need a job. He was not understanding. Una create nini. He didn't understand at all. But right now, he can comfortably say, I'm okay with whatever you're doing. Because he's seeing at least there's money coming in.
Yeah.
He can see the fruits. As in you can be able to sustain yourself through this. And it's something I really love doing it. I mean, I'm encouraging plus size women out there. You can actually achieve anything.
Something so beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so
sometimes it's good to even just do that and prove people wrong.
Thank you. Because some people are always like, unafanya nini? Unakaa tu kwa nyumba tu. But si kukaa kwa nyumba. You're actually creating your own content.
Exactly.
But they don't understand that. But once they come to realize what you have been doing and what you are able to achieve, they're like, wow, okay, then continue doing whatever you are doing. We give you our blessings. And that has been something really touching to me, like just growing, that growth.
Yeah.
And I think most of the people who have been following me for a very long time can attest to that. Consistency.
Can attest to that, yeah.
Yes. So I think that is thank you. So I think those are some of the things that you're allowed to be on your own. Like, I've made my decision, and yes, if it doesn't work out, let me pay for it. I mean, it was my own decision. Let me fail so that I can learn from it.
I can learn from it. Exactly. Yeah. And even there's someone here who's saying it doesn't pay a lot in Kenya at first. And yes, that's true.
That's very
just
true.
Like any other job, you always start from somewhere. And even before you make that decision, you've already calculated. You've seen how much you've grown possibly in the first few months, and you know you've already made that. So it's not until you start off and say, I am quitting right now because I am okay. There are people who that has worked for them, but just like any business, just like any job, like any job, it takes time to grow. There's you know,
a learning growth pattern.
And you learn, you make mistakes, you fail, you don't get some jobs. It's just like any other
job. You need to start somewhere so that people can recognize you and so that you can be paid your worth. Even when I was starting out, like, I didn't know what pricing. I didn't even know people can earn a living out of this. It's just when a brand tells you,
hey, how much.
Yeah, you see, it takes time. And I think people are not ready for that grace period. Like 1-2 years without being paid, but it's something you really love. But consistency, I always believe it's going to pay off no matter what.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for engaging. I'm really loving this conversation so
Me too.
far. And even, by the way, when we're talking earlier on, you mentioned something like the way our parents force us, still in the line of making like sacrifices, force us to do courses that we don't want to do. It's like, you have to do accounting. Hiyo ndo ikona employment mingi huko. Ama ikona pesa, and at the end of it all, you don't want. Half of, like, not even half, I'd say almost all of my friends don't even work in fields that they studied. Exactly, unless you're a doctor or a
lawyer.
Even lawyers, like I know lawyers who are not. I saw Esther Kazungu here. She can attest to it. Her husband studied law, and he practices it like probably on the side. It's not his main thing. Most of us like either do it, but then our passions lie somewhere else, or the degree belongs to the
parents. That's so true. This is also a good example with Wahoo and Nameless. They did, courses their parents wanted, and music was something they really wanted, and they did it after. Aliwambia tubede, shikeni degree yenyu, me, I'm off to music producers. So I think sometimes we are closed off, and sometimes since you are being supported by your parents, you have nowhere else to go. You just have to live through it and give them their degree, and then once you have a bit of money or freedom, now you can do whatever you want.
And even Motua here says, Motua says, again, it comes from a good place. Parents mean well, and for sure parents mean well. They mean well, and I know that 100%. But what I tend to think is that parents sometimes advise us based on their own experience. So if something didn't work for them, they'll tend to tell you, don't do that. Or if something worked for them, they'll tend to advise you to do that. So it's mostly from their experience, and you'll find that even my parents that are like in my parents' age bracket, they're not very modern. They're
traditional.
Like a lot of, they're very traditional, and the world has evolved. It's evolved tremendously. So if you're stuck there, you're not going to evolve even as a person who's growing. You have to constantly like chanua them and tell them, by the way, is this new thing happening? Have you seen it, or do you understand it, or something? But they mean well.
I think even with Facebook and Instagram, we can all see it. They're really struggling. They really want to join, Instagram, but it's not a space they will enjoy that much. They're really trying, but if they are stuck with the olden things and their olden ways, they won't warm up to what we see here on Instagram, because people are very free-minded.
That's true. True. And Mutua, I love your comments, by the way. She's saying the exact. She's saying they live through us. They want us to be better than them. That's true. Jerry studied biology, but he's doing painting. Trust me, we're together. We're together. Thank you guys for showing love. Yeah. So someone has said the end justifies the means. That's why they don't know. But for those who are so fixed to the fact that the means justifies the end, you can end up either successful or unsuccessful. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's really deep.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. We are
Thank you
really
so
enjoying
much for
having
the
this conversation.
contribution. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
I
talk
think
about
also the
wedding.
correction.
Yeah.
I was saying like even the parents trying to correct what they did in the past with us
Yes.
is really evident. But we know they're coming from a very good place. We are not refusing that. But sometimes I wish they can let us just shine and they support
make
what
those
we
mistakes.
want.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
That's dope. Yeah. So now something else that stood out for me in episode 6 and 7 was the wedding expenses bit. Let's talk about wedding expenses. Because if you saw, the queen was like, I want this wedding to be grand. I want it to be done at the palace. I want it to have, Yani, the queen had specifications about wedding.
Peacocks.
A peacock. You remember it was like, can this thing fly? The peacock,
that
was a whole
so
peacock.
Amazing. I was so,
And I got like the pressure that is normally there to have expensive weddings in society today. Let's talk about that.
Yes, please. I think at this moment, us as our era, like millennials, I'm a millennial, so we are trying to open up our minds to everything. It doesn't matter if it's a grand wedding, but are you happy? How are your finances? I'm really loving how people are, welcoming the AG kind of weddings, because it's still a wedding.
Yeah.
I don't understand why
you're married.
Yes, because you, like for us, you can't say umetoka Rurasho, umekuja, now you're staying with your partner or your husband now, and then you're starting off life and you want to throw a very grand thing. Manze, we have responsibilities. You have to furnish the house. Yeah,
you have to
choose
pay
your
rent.
Struggle.
Unless you're being gifted a house, you have to pay rent. You have to figure out like if you want to advance and get a car. If you want to, but now the problem comes in because again, parents. Yes, because they come from a good place, but sometimes I feel like the pressure to do a big wedding is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. I've seen like couples get into debt. I've seen couples who are paying loans till date, like because they did weddings that cost millions and millions. And honestly, when you look at it, it was not even necessary. You have thousands and thousands of people in your wedding. You do like the most. You bring a peacock, a tiger, to guard your doors and everything. And it becomes like a super expensive affair and you're left in debt. I mean, if you're able to do it, well and good.
Do it.
I feel like if you're able to if you have the money and the capacity to do a grand wedding, wow, like, go for it.
Do it.
But I don't feel like you should be pressured. And also, if your parent is pressuring you and they're able to give you that money to do it, then do it.
Do it.
But never be.
I also agree.
Yeah, for me, in fact, even for me, I want an AG wedding and a reception where after that reception, me and my friends now just drink till the next morning.
I think step up. And then enjoy your honeymoon with your hubby, make memories with that money. I'd rather, there's something that people will say, I don't want to feed 5,000 people. Let me enjoy that money, 2 weeks holiday, traveling all over the world with my best friend. And I totally agree, because you're making memories with someone you really love and cherish,
Exactly. And even most people do grand weddings because they're like, oh, people, what watasema nini? And at the same time, when you call guys for a wedding committee, they're like, so we on a Twitter wedding committee.
Pesa.
Na sisi tutakuwa kwa hiyo kitanda wakimaliza. Like guys said that. And then on the wedding day, you're left there with all these expenses. And then I always feel like it's so much pressure on the guys. On the men. I feel honestly like I saw a dowry list. And I saw the dowry list, these traditional ones. And you can't give, kwanza for Kikuis it's 99 plus 1 goats. And then there's suit ya mama, there's nini, and then per goat it's 5,000. Okay, they have those whatevers.
5,000 to 10,000.
For the guys, And I understand why guys sometimes take their time, especially like when they think about the finances. Guys are pressuring them, oh, now lini tunapeleka mbuzi lini, and you don't think about like the finances that go into like whatever, you know.
And especially Kikuyus, I think we have that problem. Like after the Rorasho, they really want a wedding then and then. And that time you are so drained. Maybe that was your savings, as in pressure inakwanga too much. And then the worst thing is, the worst thing is maybe if you have like a wedding, yes, hakuna mtu atakosa kusema kitu mbaya. Watasema, hiyo chakula sikupenda. Hiyo deke look at her dress.
Always say something.
You will never pressure everyone.
Yeah, you can't. But then so that's like been my motto. You can never please everyone. So do whatever makes you happy. No, I can see so many guys here like, harusi si lazima, wanaume tunaumia. Me, I feel the guys, because I feel like the pressure is always so much on the guys. The guys after the wedding, they're dented. Hata kama like there's contributions and there are things like they'll do, they're dented so much, and then at the end of it all, yes, you're happy, but you're not happy, you know. Yeah,
because your money is everything nowadays. You can't operate without money, and once you don't have money, you can't survive. I mean, even putting food on the table, it's going to be a hard thing. So I really feel for the gentlemen, And I think also us as women, we should understand our men. Like, let's, you know, understand them. Wakisema tutupatie time, understand that. Yeah.
In fact, my friend Kaz, again, she was here, Esther Kazungu. Her wedding cost 60K.
I saw that and I was like, I think this is what people need to be doing.
Just like 6 Gs. Just do lunch with your, you go do a nice photo shoot with your dress, and like that's 60 Gs, you know, it's
okay.
It's something
that's
you can
actually
easily
manageable.
raise. So manageable. You can easily raise just between the two of you. Na bado sasa muendelee na maisha yenu vizuri, you know.
Yeah, na mjipange vizuri. Savings is also very important. So in case maybe mtumie hizo pesa zote kwa wedding, mtazipata aje? And then the worst thing is ni bahasha hizi unaweza pata ziko na 50 bob, si thou. Ziko na 50 mkifikiria mnapata pesa. Mko na 50 bob. Afada. No.
Tuchwani.
But chwani hapo mnafikiria mmesha cover maybe deco ilikuwa imebakia something like 50K. Haifiki hata 10K. Watu ushagu umewaita hapo umewakombolea mpaka basi.
Umetoa so.
How is that even?
Mtu akiniuliza harusi lini na kuambia na kuweka kwa committee to decide. I'll put you on the committee, we decide together.
And then
we raise money
there.
So now let's talk about I love this conversation. It's so much fun, honestly. I'm enjoying it.
Me too. Thank you so much for hosting.
Yeah. So let's talk about now, like, what if it doesn't work out? If the marriage doesn't work out, like breakups. Breakups like the wedding, or even during the wedding you realize. I've seen now, relating it to Bridgeton, the way at the altar, Miss Edwina was the one who found out that, oh shit, actually this dude is in love with my sis. I've been blind, and she called off the wedding. And it was so shameful. Like the next day, no one was talking to them.
Then that
society is so typical. Like it's so extra. The way like hati hawa harusi za 60K wako pande gani?
Watuone huku kando.
Tukutane nyuma ya tent. Tupangiane kila mtu harusi. Wewe harusi.
Twende 60K pekee. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, let's talk about like that shame that comes with like even just relationships not working out, marriage not working out. Like, let's talk about that, because that's a conversation that people don't like to have.
To talk about. Honestly, I always feel like divorce is something, if you really need it, get it, because at the end of the day, it's your own happiness. If you're not in agreement, like if you can be apart at least to sort out things and then come back together, that's okay. If there's no point of you guys coming back together, like your toxicity is too much, you can just say deuces and you know it didn't work out, let's move on with our lives. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. And I think, again, it all boils down to what are people going to say. You know, I'm a big believer in trying to make things work. I'm a big believer in that, but not because of what people will say. Just so that mukiachana, you say that I honestly tried, like we really tried to make it work. And both of us are seeing that it can't work. And so the best decision was we part ways. And even, you know, when you try, it becomes easier to part ways sometimes because you come to an understanding that this thing didn't work out. So now
and
when
you give it your best,
and you gave it your all, and you didn't lie. When you are giving it your all, you are not lying. You are not. Your heart wasn't somewhere else. But then when your heart is somewhere else, I believe the best thing you can do to your partner is tell them the truth. Like, my heart is not here. Let me not string you along. Let me watch out to a channel too. No, you know, it even hurts worse when you have string to along for so long. Only for you to leave them and tell them you loved someone else and you've been with someone else or something like that.
For a long time.
But I feel like you should never think about what other people are saying. Because when it comes down to it, you know, people are going through it and you would never know. People are probably even going through worse
than what you think.
Yeah, you're there thinking, oh, sasa wedera atanifikiria aje. Sa hiyo yeye uko like
hafikiri hata
yuko uko. Ama even her situation is worse. So hata yako hata hai match up. And
at that particular time.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes people hide under other people's misery.
Yeah.
Misery.
Potato.
Yeah, so you'll find that when something like happens, I always see when guys are on Edgar Barry, when people are posted and guys are like, acha tulijua wataachana too. Like, it's so sad. It's not a good feeling even for your laundry, dirty, clean laundry to be aired out that way, and you're hurting and in it. So sometimes you find that people hide themselves under your misery. Yani ile wanasema heri mimi.
Yeah,
you get they're like yako ni wasu, they're like heri mimi sipiti hivyo.
I also feel the same, like judging people's relationship. It is something we always say with my husband. Watu wawili wale wanalalia pillow, wachana na stories.
Wachana nazo.
Never, don't even be associated with it, because yes, he will come and tell you, oh, you'll have the side of the woman's side, and then wawili warudiane, what about you? Where have you been left?
Okay.
So you'd rather just, you know, let them solve their own things their own way. They know their own way, so that they can understand each other and know, you know, this is what we want. We want to remain together and we will fight for what we love. But if it's so toxic and, you know, all of you are bad for each other, I just say it's only peaceful to say, you know, it's not working out.
It's not working out.
Go our own way.
Yeah. Hey, that's super, super interesting. I think we are almost done. Before we move over to friendship, let's talk about Eloise, actually.
Yeah.
So Eloise has two relationships here. One with her friend Pen. And then, by the way, our profile pictures are of Pen.
They're all the same.
Pen is the worst,
the same
but
person.
we love Pen.
I love
Without Pen, there's no Bridgeton, honestly.
Bridgeton. I also said the same thing.
Yeah.
I think that misery is everything with Bridgeton. Like, if we knew Lady Whistle down, I mean, akuna hapo Bridgeton hapo tuna watch.
Exactly. Akuna. So there's the friendship, and then there's also her secret relationship with this guy from the Ukotao
printing press.
The printing place guy. And so like I see this thing on social media but I don't know why people do this, maybe you correct me, where they post like their partner and then they hide them.
I also have a love and
embarrassment, or is it because they don't want other women to hit on them? Or is it because, I don't know.
I don't understand. Mina semanga usituonyeshe. Like, let us know there is someone, but atumuoni. But it's okay, emoji. It even draws us to be like curious. huyu nimeona mikono yake pahali, you know.
Yay.
There's no point.
I don't know why people that. That's my own preference that I don't see the point of hiding. Then why are you posting them?
I know. I also have the same thing. I'm like, if you don't want us to know who he is or she is, imagine it's no pressure. You don't have to post. Yeah, exactly. Just don't even use an emoji. Like, it's not helpful.
Eggplant.
Mtajua mjui Kanairo akona husband ya mtu hapo.
Yeah, by the way, so like Eloise kept on like secretly going to see this guy. I feel like she was low-key embarrassed of being seen with a guy because he's from a poor background, first of all, not from a rich background. And also I think the people that he hangs around with don't support the political beliefs that Eloise's family support. So she kept on like secretly going to see him, and then now it broke out and everyone knew.
From Whistle Down,
Yeah, okay, that's episode 8 or 7. 7.
I don't know.
It was 7.
It's 7.
Yeah,
I also think the relationship aspect was, for Eloise, was she didn't want to get married, and then she was ashamed that she's attracted to someone else.
Yeah.
Because that is something, like she said, marriage is where women are kept, were kept silent for the rest of their lives. So I think also she was ashamed she loved someone, or she had a crush with someone.
Yeah.
That's why she was keeping it private. That's how I understood it. She was keeping it private from everyone else to know.
Okay. Well, that's hard. That's tough. Honestly, I wouldn't want to be kept private.
Me too.
If you're with me, show me out. Otherwise, I know
what are you hiding?
What are you hiding? What are you hiding?
I also agree.
Then, I think the last thing we can possibly talk about is the friendship between Pen and Eloise. I feel like it was such a beautiful friendship, but Pen destroyed it with lies and selfishness and everything. It was so heartbreaking, man. Like, she could do that to her friend, you know, like behind her back. To air out her dirty laundry behind her back. Me, Kwanzaa, I hate that thing so bad.
Yeah, true. But honestly, also for my understanding of Pen, why she did that, she tried to, protect her so that the queen cannot it's her. So she did it in a malicious way or a bad way, but it was coming from a good place, but it had to be painted out the wrong way. That's my understanding, because she was trying to look out for Eloise, but at the same time she had to paint it off the wrong way.
Either way,
she had her. But I hope their relationship actually comes to blossom in season 3, because they were so amazing together.
They were such amazing friends, But then also the one thing that I noticed about what's her name, Pen, that I didn't like is that Eloise really trusted her with so much of her secrets. Like, she used to tell her everything, and she used to trust that she would not tell anyone. But then everything that she'd tell her,
she will go
and write about it and tell the whole not even one person, the whole town,
the whole kingdom, as in what wanajua.
Some things I think some things were damaging the family, Eloise's family, and so like it was like a bit off for her to do that to her friend. At least she would have spared her friend and written about everyone. Everyone else.
But she was trying to safeguard her. But I also understand that trying to tarnish her name and her family's name wasn't the best way. Maybe she would have done it another way. But I think that's how the plot of the whole, season 2 was supposed to end.
Was supposed to be, Yes, but it's good to just be honest with your friends and everything. If you fuck up, just tell your friends you fucked up.
How do you deal with such situations with your friendships?
Me?
Yeah.
So for me, I like honesty, and I tell my friends from the beginning, like, just if you've considered And if I've considered, I'll come to you and tell you, like, Rosafi, I did this and I'm really sorry. This is where I was coming from. Then from there, I'll let you choose. Do you still want to continue being my friend? Do we? And even for me, if it's a pattern, it's not a pattern, and I see, like me, I rarely cut off people. Okay. For me, I draw boundaries. If I see that you have a pattern where, like, I tell you stuff about myself and you go and tell it out to people, I'll draw a boundary where from now henceforth, I'll be your friend, I'll hang out with you and everything, but I won't be sharing my personal stuff with you. I won't, because I believe every single person has some good in them. Even if they have a bad trait in them, I believe they have a good in them that you can say, there's this thing that I learned from her, or there's this thing that I love from her. So I choose to take like that bit from them, and then I draw a boundary. If I feel like you're crossing the boundary, now it becomes not a pattern, baka now nimekuambia mara mingi. That's why now I just pull back.
So will you call that a friend or an acquaintance?
And I feel like an acquaintance would be someone who I haven't interacted with, but I don't know. I find it hard to differentiate friend and acquaintance. Yeah, because I tend to say everyone's a friend.
Yeah, true. For me, I think I've been hurt a number of times. So me opening up to new friendships is I'm a bit skeptical, because I'm like, naniki hati watena, what will happen? For me, I think if we don't align in whatever we are doing, like friendships, like, are you genuine? Amy, I'll cut you off. I'm so sorry. I am looking out for myself, because I've been in that situation where, I compromise so much, but there's too much you can compromise for friendship or even relationships, even family. Sometimes it can be too draining for you. So you just take a step back and you're like, I think I'll choose myself this time. And every time you choose yourself, I think that's when you realize who you are as a person. You appreciate, I did this for me and I'm happy that I'm here.
I'm happy I did this for me,
For me, yes. So for me, it's a bit a love and hate relationship when it comes to new friendships, because I'm like, naniki hatiwa, but at the same time, I also want new friends. I don't mind making new friends if we vibe the same way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that. I think that's a really good conversation we've had. Someone here said, my ex used to tell me, let's keep it private until permanent. Hakuwa anataka kunipost WhatsApp. Was that normal? Hey sis, run.
No, please. Run. It's not normal.
Run.
Kuna mtu anamnini.
At least, anaogopa kiona. Hata kama sikupost, does he like claim you?
In front of his friends.
In front of his friends. Sometimes it's not about posting. Maybe mtu apendi social media or something. But does he tell people that you're the girlfriend? Does he tell people that you're together? Does he
acknowledge you as the girlfriend?
If he doesn't, then you're not together, honestly.
Because that's your own world. His own world. Any other comment?
Yeah, I don't think there's any other comment that we have left out here. Most guys are just liking the conversation and they're liking like what our thoughts and everything. I feel like for our first live together,
that was amazing.
This is vizuri
sana. But we have never met with Tracey. This is the first time. And I love the chemistry. Amazing.
The chemistry has been dope. It's been dope. Unless maybe you have some closing remarks on episode 6 and 7.
For me, it's to tell anyone who hasn't watched, please go watch. I think it's a very good season. Not at least because kwa sababu Simon hayuko ati haiko poa, iko poa. Just go watch it and have your own interest. You can, sit down a whole night to malize. It's bingeable, It's interesting.
It's very interesting. Make sure you guys check it out and watch. I've really enjoyed having this conversation with you.
Me
too. Been amazing. It's been really
amazing.
Thank
you so much for having me.
Yeah, and guys, stay tuned. Check out. Thank you guys. Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you.
We've really enjoyed it. I would honestly, I will call you back for a live here, or you host me
let's
on
do
yours.
this another
Let's find
time.
something. Let's find a conversation to have.
We
Yeah.
will.
But stay tuned tomorrow. Waidera will be having a live with the Dapper Brother. I had the Dapper Brother yesterday. So Waidera will be having hers with the Dapper Brother tomorrow. Please stay tuned. Join at 8 p.m., right?
Yeah, 8 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay,
episode 8.
All right. Episode 8
Thank you
is
so
fire.
much.
Fire. Hey.
Thank you so much.
Someone just asked, what about old friendships that are no longer existing now? What happens when you meet?
Yeah.
So that's
awkward.
It. I know it's awkward. It would be awkward for the very first time. It depends also on how you guys ended.
Left each other,
Yeah, if you guys left each other at a bad note, sometimes I meet people who we don't even say hi to each other. And I want to, but then sometimes if you get energy that's negative, you can't force yourself.
Yeah.
You can't force
if
yourself.
the person is not giving an environment that is approachable,
exactly.
Why are you approaching that person?
Exactly. But if the environment is approachable and it works, then why not?
By all means, say hi, catch up, and maybe rekindle that friendship.
Yeah, I hope we answered your question. Thank you all for joining the live. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.